Well, yeah, I can't do this all dressed. For those of you who have not seen this before, don't expect much. Each year, sorry. I've always said that I wrote this song about my wonderful stallion. His name was Baylo in his ear. And the thing I learned a lot from him. He is and the thing that you might not know, he was I was climbing a mountain one day, and there was this, you get up there in Colorado and you get up at the top of the mountains, you can see these storms coming for miles. And you can even, when you're way up there in the Rockies, you can see separate storms. And I thought, it was a nice summer day, sunshine and everything. I thought, what could go wrong? I'm up to 14,000 feet, right up on top of these ridges, and you can see these lightning storms coming. I thought, what I'll do is I'll just scrunch down over here on the other side of the mountain until they blow over. And the storms got where they looked like they were real close, and all of a sudden, everything was electric. And you feel like worms are crawling all over, and your hair stands up everywhere on you. And then they came. And what had looked like just rain and lightning looked like the inferno. It was snow and sleet and ice, and so I'm kind of hunkering down like that. You know how men are. There's a woman would be concerned maybe about her safety. Something sensible. I thought, I better take a picture of myself. So I got out this camera and I set it over on this other thing, and I went back and took a picture with it. Come out, I literally had the hair. So I ain't touching this anymore. Anyways, this stallion Baylo in his ear, he taught me a lot of things, but the thing I learned most off of him was how much a man could enjoy his work. Because people that's in the stallion line of work, you can tell they're either working, or they're remembering some great work they did in the past, or they're thinking about ways to improve on their job in the future. And he was a wonderful gentleman. And I remember several things about him. I always wanted to write a song about him, but I couldn't figure out ways to get him in the song. And there's two things, and only people from the country or people that recognize the word country when they see it in print, or people that ever drive around in the country will know what I'm talking about. And city slickers, you just had to take my word for this. But one of the times we had this maiden mare come to the farm for breeding, and she was very nervous because, you know, Arabian stacks, she's out there. And there's a reason cowboys don't like Arabian horses, because they don't want to have a horse that's smarter than they are. And Baylo, as soon as she got out of the trailer, he's over in his pasture, and of course, he knew what this was all about, time for him to earn his living. But she was real nervous because he's boom, 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 jumping around everything, and she kind of gets out and she's real scared and nervous, and things weren't going so well. And so people didn't know at the time, but I could talk to Baylo and he could talk back. And I could understand what he said because he talked real slow. And regular people can't understand that kind of talk. And so things weren't going so well, and I went out and I whispered in his ear, I said, Baylo, we really need this $5,000. I mean, the price of hay's going up, horse food and everything. Okay. All right. But this is true. He walked up behind her and went around, blew in her ear, nibbled on her neck. She kind of calmed down. business was taken care of. But the time I remember most was there was this guy actually lived in Pennsylvania. I lived in Ohio at the time, and he wanted to breed a zebra to Baylo, and I said, well, we can't do that. You know, it's a full-blooded stallion, purebred and everything. He said, no. I said, I want to get a horse that's a cross between a zebra and an Arabian horse. I said, well, I gave him a price. I thought nobody will pay, but they must print money in Pennsylvania. But he said, very reasonable. He said, no problem. And I tried to cover the base. I said, is this a wild zebra or just a domestic zebra? He said, well, she's a wild zebra. We might have to, this has never been done before. And so I was kind of nervous. And he brought her over and unloaded her, and Baylo's over. It's like he understands right away what's happening, you know. But he gets over in the breeding barn, and he wouldn't go near her. Not at all. He just kind of stood. I said, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to force him to breed this zebra. He might be afraid or he's nervous or something, and you just have to take her on home. I'll pay for your gas. He said, no, sir. He said, let's do something. Let's give him a shot. Anything we can do to calm him down, you know, put a chain over his nose. Let's get this thing take place. So I said, no, I can't do that. But I went up to Baylo and I said, Baylo, buddy, we really need this money. You know, the only other way I gotta make money is playing bluegrass music, and dozens of dollars just aren't going to cut it here on this farm. I need you to do this. And I said, you know, and I whispered in his ear, and he whispered back in my ear, and I went back over to the guy and I said, okay, he's ready. He said, how do you know? I said, well, we talked to each other. He said, well, what'd you say? I said, well, you seen me talk in his ear, didn't you? He said, oh, yeah. Well, what'd you say? I said, well, I told him. I said, we really need this money. You know, dozens of dollars of bluegrass music's not going to do it. He said, what'd he say when he whispered in your ear? He said, well, if she's so ready, how come she still got her pajamas on? This is a song about him. And we're doing it now. This chair slides backwards. I'm going to have to use all my core strength. You can imagine how much core strength a bluegrass musician has. We're mostly famous for our chords. You can play along if you would like. Well, me and my horse Baylo, we're going to the fair. We're going to ride the buck and run the barrel and see everything that's there. We're going to wink at all the women, flag a tail at all the mares. We'll be hell-bent for leather when we go to the fair. We're going to shave and brush and shower and shine our shoes up good and bright. Gonna strap on all the leather stuff and cinch it up real tight. Gonna jog around and warm up ring, lean against the rail and check out all that horsey stuff like eye and leg and tails. Gonna jog into the show ring with a head set good and proud. When the announcer calls the names out, well, we does it good and loud. Gonna win a say blue ribbon and show off for the crowd. Well, I guess we'll bring the stands down when Baylo takes his bow. Gonna jog around the grandstand down the old midway. Yeah, I'll be munching popcorn while Baylo chomping hay. Gonna find ourselves a saddle or something cute on either side, and then me and my horse Baylo might just